So then guys, it has been 14 days since I picked up the iPhone 17 Pro Max. So that's allowed me 2 full weeks of real world use as my daily driver with it. But the big question is, should I keep it or should I return it and stick with, say, my iPhone 16 Pro Max? Well, let's go through the design, display, cameras, performance, and battery, and I'll tell you what I've concluded here. And let's start out then with the build. The forged aluminum unibody still feels solid and lighter than the titanium frame on the iPhone 16 Pro Max. Now, bezels are slimmer and the new full width camera plateau makes it sit flatter on a desk, which I like. But here's the thing, after 14 days, I've kept mine in a case. So it's still fully protected here. I have no scratches whatsoever on my iPhone 17 Pro Max. But as we've seen out there, we've seen reports that, demo units inside Apple shops, for example, are prone to getting scratches on them. And the good thing is it hasn't happened to me yet, but I think there's a good reason why that has actually happened, and that's all to do with today's sponsor. So then guys, if you've just spent over $1,000 on a brand new iPhone 17 Pro or iPhone 17 Pro Max, you don't want to risk a single drop without protection, and that's why I'm using Casetify. Let's put this to the test. This here is the bounce case, and come on, let's go outside and let's take a further look at this. So the bumper case even has increased edges, as you can see right here, to help protect the phone even more. And then what we're actually going to do here is we're actually going to drop the phone from this height here. Now, this phone can actually be dropped in this case up to 21 foot, what is 7 times military grade. So we're going to drop this, but what I've also done is I've turned on the dual camera mode to see what it looks like when we actually drop this. So let's give it a go and let's see if my phone survives this drop. Are you ready? On the count of 3? 1, 2, 3. Ooh, that did not sound that good. So let's have a look then. Let's have a look at the damage. And we can see we've only got a little bit of a line just there, just like that. But obviously the phone, from what I can tell, where it hit, is completely fine. Fully protected, no scratches whatsoever. This is great. But then after this, if you don't want a bounce case, you can get the glaze case. And this has a glossy back here and it's scratch resistant black plate. So your prints don't fade or peel. And watch this. Look, with a coin, it's still in pristine condition, even though I'm trying to scratch this off. But Casetify isn't just about cases. They also make MagSafe accessories that work beautifully with, say, the iPhone 17 Pro Max. And I've been using their MagSafe card holder stand and it locks in instantly. And then the cool thing is, as you can see, I've got a mirror right here. It can even double up as a vlogging tool. So for example, if I wanted to use the rear cameras and also see myself, well, I can do that with this mirror on the back here. Well, it's pretty awesome. So guys, if you've just upgraded to a new iPhone Air, an iPhone 17, a Pro or Pro Max, don't go naked with it. Protect it with Casetify. And check out my link, what's on the screen right now, that will also give you a discount, and also this will be in the description below. So make sure you check out a case from Casetify right now. So with keeping your phone in a case here, I think that when you do get to the point when you do need to trade it in, that it's really going to help out, that obviously it won't knock down the price. But like my iPhone 16 Pro Max, that's lived in a case all this time and it's still in amazing condition. But overall, with the design for the iPhone 17 Pro Max, I do really like this new camera plateau idea. And yeah, it makes a lot more sense now. And like I also did point out, it helps it like being more stable on the desk. And also even just holding your phone, if I just show you here in my hand, obviously you can hold it and obviously just have it underneath the frame here with your fingers. And when you're holding it, it just balances there. And even if you have a case, it helps out with that because obviously it goes around that camera plateau. But But moving on to the actual display of this phone, it's still got that 6.9-inch Super Retina XDR display, and you know, it's amazing. It's got 120 Hz ProMotion, what's silky smooth, but it does have that 3000 nits of peak brightness, and for outdoor use, this has been amazing. And after 2 weeks with it, it has really helped out. It's not a massive leap over the iPhone 16 Pro Max, but it is nice to have. It's better, and yeah, if you're just upgrading this just for the screen, the jump isn't that huge with it. But with the likes of, say, iOS 26 on the iPhone 17 Pro Max, it feels slick and polished. The new liquid glass animations look great, and I've even been able to make more use of the customizations with it. And obviously, notifications feel cleaner and great, and Wi-Fi 7 has been great on this, and also I have transferred the odd file by USB-C to a little external hard drive, and this has been great to use too. But the truth of this is that iOS 26 experience, it's like identical to what you can get on the iPhone 16 Pro Max. So it's not exclusive kind of features we are getting here with the iPhone 17 Pro Max whatsoever. It feels like exactly the same, whether I've been switching between both of the phones. But one area where we did see an improvement this year on the iPhone 17 Pro Max, and that is to do with the cameras. And that is that this time round, we actually got 3 48 megapixel fusion lenses and sensors, and this literally covers all situations what you can go through all during the day. Daylight shots are excellent, and also low light shots are great too, much more cleaner than what we get on the iPhone 16 Pro Max. And that new 8x telephoto zoom is actually been absolutely fantastic here. And in fact, have a look here at the zooms that I've done. Like I've done 0.5, this is ultra wide. Then we have the 1x zoom, then we have the 2x zoom, 4x zoom, 8x zoom, 10x zoom, the 25x zoom, what the 16 Pro Max could only go up to, and then there's the 40x zoom as well. And this has been incredible. Now, personally, I wouldn't be saying go more than, say, 25x zoom on this phone, because after that, it starts to get really bad. But then also the same with video recording as well. This has been great to actually have with it. And let me show you 2 samples here. I'll do one with doing zoom again, and then I'll also do the sort of dual camera mode, what you can also do with this phone. Take a look here. So I'm on the iPhone 17 Pro Max here. This is a 0.5x zoom, but if I punch it up to a 1x zoom, you can see the zoom. Can you see the windmill in the background there? It's quite far away, but we're going to punch it right up to a 2x zoom. That's where we're at there. Then a 4x zoom. You can see it even more clearer. And then we can push it all the way up to the 8x zoom there. This is the optical range that Apple are saying here. But there is the digital zoom, and we can actually go all the way up to a 24x digital zoom with video. You know, I'm trying to keep it stable here, but yeah, that does quite a good job there. And also, just to show you guys, this is the dual camera mode option. I think this is pretty cool. So you can actually see me. This is what I'm seeing here, the zoom. Let's see, there's my hand, see? Look at that, that's pretty cool. And just want to show you here, look, so this is 0.5. I can go up to the 1x, the 2x. Oh, I went up to 4 there, but there we go. That's 4x instead then. But then obviously you've got the 8x zoom there. And then obviously I can still do that pinch ups kind of zoom up to the 24x zoom, just to show you guys there. That is what you can actually do with this phone, what is pretty neat. So that is quite impressive, but the big question is this better than, say, the iPhone 16 Pro Max? Well, if you are a creator, then yes, any improvement's always going to be great. But to be honest, if you were just upgrading from, say, an iPhone 16 Pro Max to the iPhone 17 Pro Max, just using it to do your, you know, going to a family event just to record, you're probably not really going to notice those differences out there. It depends on what you're going to use the phone for. And it's the same with taking photos as well. I've really seen not the biggest improvements compared to the last generation, if it's just normal kind of snaps, but I can imagine people out there who are doing raw kind of photos, they probably will notice that difference there. And one of the cool things that's actually helped out with taking photos and doing videos is all to do with that A19 Pro chip. And the A19 Pro chip has been fantastic. During my time of the 2 weeks of having this phone, I have been constantly doing, saying, Geekbench scoring and also Antutu as well. And overall, it has been superb superb with the scores. It's been very consistent. And for that though, apps have just always opened instantly, heavy multitasking hasn't slowed it down, and that new vapor chamber cooling does help with thermals. Compared to my iPhone 16 Pro Max, it is still super snappy, but I have noticed that my iPhone 16 Pro Max, if I did run very similar tasks, in my hand, it does even feel a little bit warmer, even within a case. But like I said, that's only if you push out the iPhone 16 Pro Max to maximum out there. So if you are gaming or, doing really heavy loading workflows here and workloads, then yeah, you probably will notice it's going to get a bit warmer in your hands, but just for day-to-day activities, there's really not much in it. But then something else that I have noticed is all to do with battery life on the iPhone 17 Pro Max. On a normal day where I haven't actually pushed out the phone to do loads of recording, or I haven't really played any 3D games or anything like that, you can easily get a day and a half out of this phone without putting it on charge. But like I said, on those heavier kind of days where you're doing lots of videos, you're out and about, maybe playing 3D games, pushing it hard, yeah, it's hard to actually still get a full day with it. But then this is where the great thing is that charging has got a lot better with the iPhone 17 Pro Max. Remember, you can get to 50% from dead battery in 20 minutes. And also with MagSafe, you can also do the same thing up to it in 30 minutes. What is far more impressive than what we got with the iPhone 16 Pro Max. It couldn't actually meet those kind of speeds there. So this is really good to actually see. This is definitely an improvement on the charging area, and actually the battery life, I would say, compared to the iPhone 16 Pro Max is a bit better from what I've noticed. I wouldn't say it's leaps and bounds ahead, kind of like what Apple kind of give the impression there, but it is definitely an improvement, what I am noticing. So the big question is then, after 14 days, do I keep my iPhone 17 Pro Max or do I return it and stick with my iPhone 16 Pro Max? Well, here's my honest take. The iPhone 17 Pro Max, like Apple claim every year, it's the best iPhone ever, and it really is. And the cameras, display and battery life are all excellent here, and they've been flawless throughout the whole time of the 2 weeks I've actually owned it. But what I would be saying is this: if I was not a creator, a YouTube creator, and wasn't doing these videos for you and not doing videos going into the future, I would be keeping my iPhone 16 Pro Max. I wouldn't be upgrading to the iPhone 17 Pro Max. In fact, I would be saying even if I had an iPhone 15 Pro Max, I probably wouldn't be upgrading. If I had the iPhone 14 Pro Max, I'd probably say I would be. So yeah, that's where I stand with it. So obviously, I'm going to be keeping it, because obviously as a YouTube creator, it's actually going to help me because I actually do use a lot of my B-roll. In fact, all the B-roll today, apart from where you actually see the iPhone 17 Pro Max in the shots, have all been recorded on this phone. And I do that for a lot of my videos where there is my own B-roll. I use my phone to do that. So this is really going to help me out over the next year. But for everybody else out there with just family videos and shots and things like this, it's really not going to be a big difference, I would say, if you've got a 15 Pro Max or say a 16 Pro Max. And also do remember with the likes of say the zoom capability, yes, this can do that. It's got better camera zoom, but you've got to be realistic here. How often are you going to use that 40 times zoom capability? It is a nice to have. It's probably cool to show your friends, look what I can do with my phone, but maybe that odd one vacation that you're going to go on and then maybe take that odd one picture, what's 40 times zoom? Apart from that, you might not even utilize it or use it that often. So this is something what you've got to be aware of here. I'm going to say, like again, if you're coming from say an iPhone 14 Pro Max or older, yeah, it's a good upgrade. But 15 Pro Max, 16 Pro Max, personally, I don't see it's actually worth upgrading. But there we go, guys. I'm going to be keeping my iPhone 17 Pro Max because obviously for my needs, it's actually going to be perfect for it. But for everybody else out there, I would really think about it if it's worth upgrading to. But on that note as well, guys, I hope this video has helped you out here. Are you going to get yourself an iPhone 17 Pro Max? And if you are, what are you upgrading from? Well, let me know in the comments below. And with that note as well, guys, it's time to wrap up the video too. So if you have enjoyed watching it, please do press the like button. As always, if you want the latest Apple news, reviews, and comparisons, make sure you subscribe to the channel and hit that notification bell. Until next time, guys, I'll see you really soon. Take care. Bye-bye.